I did this whole makeup video, and the video is jacked up. So anyway, I got 20 minutes left on my phone that I have for room to record, and that's it. So, just something a little discussion. So I was reading an article recently where they're trying to chalk up deja vu to a neurological disorder. Just the same way they're trying to chalk up all of the clairs, like your psychic abilities, to a neurological disorder. It's a little disheartening, but I mean, so was a lot of stuff when our science was able to measure it, right? Like magnetism. I mean, we can measure it, but imagine how disheartened people were when they were finally able to measure it and to explain it. They must have been like, "Oh, we thought it was from the gods." But I always fall on that line, like between science and spirit, and it's supposed to feel uncomfortable and it's supposed to feel like dampening, but actually it makes me feel connected, because it makes me feel like all of these energies and all these forces are like family, and we're part of a oneness, I guess. So, yeah, they're trying to chalk deja vu up to a neurological issue. Could be seizures, because you don't always have seizures like what you see on TV. Like, they can be sometimes to where you don't even feel them. Other people don't see them, but they happen. And so, yeah, they were trying to do that, and I think it's inherited memories. That's my opinion, but yeah. Another thing was like you hallucinate sights that you see, like precognition. You hallucinate the sounds that you're hearing. You hallucinate the smells. You hallucinate the taste. You hallucinate the touch. They're trying to chalk it all up to a chemical misfire in your brain, basically, or a an issue with your neurological system, basically. So I already know that I have neurological issues. I have ADHD, I have anxiety disorder, I have an autistic son, I have nerve problems. So it wouldn't be too far fetched in my position. But I was reading a article recently where they were talking about long COVID. People that have had COVID for a while are beginning to, yeah, they got their sense of smell back, but now they're beginning to get phantom smells like sulfur and burnt toast and fire and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I've always gotten that. And me and my sister were talking about it when we were walking yesterday, and she's like, well, yeah, like anytime you get a really bad sinus infection, we tend to lose our sense of taste and smell because it messes with the olfactory system. And I was like, well, yeah, like that seems self-explanatory. And what this article was indicating is that it messes with your nerves, not with like your actual physical nose, but with the nerves attached to the olfactory system. And so they misfire, and they misinterpret what your brain is saying, or your brain starts to say something that it shouldn't, and it triggers this smell. So I was like, oh, I always thought that was paranormal, and I always thought I was smelling fire, which I never was. And you know what? One day I figured out the majority of why I was smelling fire, because I was a smoker. And the lingering smoke was stuck in my nose, and I would occasionally smell it. I was like, God, I'm a freaking idiot. So, anyway. So, yeah, they're trying to explain all that away to brain problems. For those of us that hear things, see things, smell things, occasionally taste things, feel things, they're like, yeah, it's your brain. So, let me see what else. Yeah, inherited memories, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys something that's embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because that's what I do. I believe that inherited memories are the reason that I know what it feels like to have a wee wee, to have a penis. And I don't know how memory, I don't know if anybody really knows how memory gets transferred over genetically, but they're beginning to prove that it does. And we've known this. We've known this. Our ancestors live within our blood. You know, we know this. And, but they're beginning to put it into practice. They're beginning to prove it. Because there are just some people out there that just know how to do these things without explanation. Like, I know how to play the piano. Why? And they're like, did your great grandpa play the piano like on the daily? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, that's how you know how. Because it's embedded in your blood. Your brain already knows how to do it. Can you turn that off, please? And anyway, so there are certain things that you just know that you don't know why you know. Hold on. So yeah, I believe that whoever male on my side passed down that information to me. Some people say, it's because you were a dude in the past life. Well, yeah, for all intents and purposes, there were men in my lineage, obviously. You know, but I know what it feels like to have one. Would you turn it off, please? I know what it feels like to have one. I know what it feels like to pee with one. I know what it feels like to be with a woman. I know what it feels like to bide my time with it. I know what it feels like to sit down and pee with it. I know what it feels like to get kicked in the balls. I know how much it hurts. I know where it hurts, and I know how long it hurts. And I know that it hurts in your stomach. I know that it can hurt all the way up to your chest. I know that it feels like a pressure, like you almost want to vomit. I know what it feels like. And I can guarantee you I don't have one. I'm full female. And so, like, that's just one thing I know. So I know why men kill for it. Because I know how good it feels. So, and there are just other things that I just know. And that's one of the reasons why I went looking back into my history, looking back into the family. And I was trying to figure out who in the family was messing around with some stuff, because there's got to be a reason why I'm so drawn to it, and nobody else in the family really stuck with it, you know? And I'm like trying to look back, and they're all basically saying, like, well, they all did this as a lifestyle, you know? They all did this as part of the daily routine, what you would consider occultish and esoteric and witchcrafty and stuff like that was just daily life to them. And it was herbal use, it was cures, it was medicines, it was just secondhand knowledge in which they used to navigate their lives. You know, they didn't really think of it what we think of it now. We think of it as, oh, it's too taboo, you know, because we rely so much on Western medicine. A lot of times we don't think to use the green stuff for cures. We don't think to use the spiritual for cures. We don't think to use energy work or to convince the subconscious mind, you know? We don't think of that stuff. They did. So, you know, of course it's seen as taboo and, you know, frowned upon, that sort of thing, because, well, now things are different and everything's done for us and everything's defined for us, even our destiny, you know, so. But, yeah, I think that a lot of things you think you know without reason were probably inherited. I honestly believe that. Look into it. See if your parents or anybody around you know of any other relative in your direct vicinity. I'm talking like up to great grandfather, great grandmother, aunt and uncle, that had those very traits, those very interests, or those very talents that you have. You never know. You might have just inherited it. But probably not aunt and uncle. More like, I mean, unless your family was into that sort of thing. I'm not going to judge. But yeah, just look into it. It might be something worth pursuing. You know, and then you'll be like, oh, that's how I know how to crochet, because great grandma knew how to, or whatever, you know? So, anyway, that's about all I got for now, guys. I jacked up this video because I was doing like a makeup tutorial or a makeup video, and I just jacked up that video. So, okay. In other news, I already posted a live video on how I'm trying to fix the live petition cam. Guys, honest, all else fails. Look, I tried. If all else fails, I tried really hard. We can just go back to the old school way, and I can send you pictures. But it just really sucks because I was like, okay, they can see for themselves. They don't have to constantly be asking me. It doesn't give me more work. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. It doesn't give me more work, more tasks to do. I'm already busy as it is, and they can just see it for themselves. And at the same time, I'm also kind of like giving back to people because they give me so much, but I don't want there to be 10 extra steps. I want it to be kind of like more of a one-to-one thing. Like, you may have given it to me to light to do for you, but it's not like spell work. It's not like you're asking me to do this whole mission for you. You're just asking me essentially to light the candle for you. You got the rest. It's between you and her at this point. I'm out, you know. Like, all I did was buy the candle and light it. I didn't put any of my energy into it. Like, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. No, this is between you and her. She's going to hear your end. You know, I can say what you requested, but I'm not putting, like, I'm not imbuing myself into it like that. That's you two. So, anyway, hope that made sense. Yeah, working on it. But, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It just sucks, dude, because it was freaking expensive, man. Anyway, I know you guys shouldn't know that, but man, I didn't think that it was going to be this much. I saw all these other people. I'm like, they can do it, then I can. But whatever. Anyway, guys, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I got to take care of this whole house. Like, this is not your all's problem, but I got to take care of this whole house. I got to do, you know, everything around here except cook. Husband's great at cooking. I got to, you know, I have an at-home business. You know, I'm trying to maintain this, you know, all these other online situations. You know, it's a lot for one person, you know. So, like, I'm just going to be honest. But I started these projects on my own. I knew what I was doing. And, you know, I know that this is all my responsibility, and I know what I have to do. So it's just some days I get overwhelmed, and some days I'm just kind of like, all right, can we wait an extra day, please? Can you just give me an extra day? You know, and then my son doesn't let me sleep at night. Like, I'm lucky if I get like 5 hours of sleep any day of the week, you know? And then this COVID thing, so like, don't even get me started. I know there are people out there like, really? You're bitching right now? Like, you got it made. Like, what the hell do you have to bitch about? But I'm like, man, allow me my bitching. Goddamn, you know, like, it's not like I'm some greedy motherfucker that's just trying to like play on people and, you know, take them for all they're worth and shit. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm being real. That's what people say that they like about this channel, is it being real. So there it is. Anyway, so I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night or day, and I'll see you in the next video.